What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Filip Hrgovic. Alexander Usyk, get this. Heavyweight rival Filip Hrgovic is not impressed with Usyk's display against Dubois. He's nothing special. And he elaborated on this. He says, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with anyone. He is a good fighter, of course, but I am a good fighter as well. I've had 17 years in boxing. I've boxed with the Olympic champions, European champions, world champions. I've had a long career and sparred with everyone, so I feel like I can beat anyone. If I have a good camp, good focus, and give my 100%, I know that I can beat anyone. In that fight with Dubois, he did what he usually does. He's a good fighter with good pace. He throws a lot of punches and he moves a lot, but I don't see anything special. I feel like Dubois had some good moments and counters. He just needed to throw more. He needed to be more aggressive. I think I have the endurance, the speed, and I can throw more to give him more trouble than Dubois or even Joshua. Those are the words of Filip Hrgovic, and let me counterpunch. I think that a lot of people, based on Usyk's last performance, it gives them oodles and oodles and oodles of confidence, okay? And I think, if anything, I think that he's no exception. I think Filip Hrgovic seen that performance and looked at that night and said, you know what? I can do better than Dubois. But it all starts from there. It all starts from confidence, or the belief that you know you can do something, especially based on a performance like Usyk had. Okay, Usyk had that shot that everyone debates. Everybody and their mom, their cousin, their uncle, their niece, their aunt, right, or aunt, and people think, well, he's nothing special. Let me say this. Alexander Usyk is like a guy that may seem that way. When Usyk came to heavyweight, everybody was like, that dude too small. When he fought his first heavyweight fight, when he fought Chaz Witherspoon, he's going to get knocked out. Okay? People said those same things. He's too small. He gets hit too much. He's going to get knocked out eventually. Well, that time hasn't come. Okay? And he was in there with a big puncher of Daniel Dubois anyway. Danny Dubois can punch. And I think if the shot hurt Alexander Usyk like he let on, if he wasn't milking it, and if he really was hurt, if Tyson Fury was right, and he was crippled by that shot, that tells me one thing, that Daniel Dubois hits harder than Anthony Joshua, because he did 24 rounds with Joshua, and Joshua hit him everywhere he possibly could. But my thing is, being a bigger guy, being not the quicker guy, like Joshua was, like Filip Hrgovic is, those guys, in his perception of fighting, or throwing that many punches, is not going to be that easy. If Usyk was so easy to hit, I think people would throw more punches, in other words. And I think Filip's thinking, hey, I could do more than Daniel Dubois, but understand, Alexander Usyk is not a guy that comes in there and just... he's not just moving for the sake of moving. He's moving in rhythm, in his own rhythm, and he keeps you guessing. He keeps you resetting. He keeps you thinking. He keeps you on your toes. He keeps you on the defense, because he's doing more than moving around and shit like that. He's moving around, and while he's moving, he's creating holes and landing points for himself. The opportunities that he's making on his own by feigning, by moving, by bobbing, by weaving. And it's not going to be easy. Like, this ain't Zile Zhang, okay? This ain't the same rodeo. Because I seen what Filip and what people do, like I explained to you guys earlier this morning in one of my videos. People think because you see a fighter fight some totally different fighter, you think that's going to be the same result. It's almost though you think you can take that person from that night and then apply yourself to that person. Had that been me that night, I would have done this. I would have done that. The only problem with that is that wasn't you. And that won't be him that night. And who says you'll do what Danny Dubois did? Even Danny Dubois threw more punches with other fighters because other fighters, fortunately, were easier to hit. Filip Hrgovic saying, I'll throw more shots. Well, I think you have to fight him. And if he has the mentality or the mindset of fighting Alexander Usyk, that would probably be best. You know, you better hope you're in there with a ref that tolerates belt line blows. Because if he rules that an illegal blow, you'll be in the same situation Danny Dubois, and hopefully he wouldn't quit. You know, I look forward to seeing it because I like these fighters, these younger fighters, build up confidence based on not so spectacular performance. Okay, because that wasn't a spectacular performance by Usyk. That was a typical Usyk performance. I just didn't like the climax because there really wasn't one. Dubois just quit. He just gave up. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he was just taking his breath or time too long, but, you know, he was able to get up. And anybody that stops or feels that they can get up and they're just taking their time or they're listening to a certain rhythm or cue, that shows me he didn't do what he's supposed to did. He didn't get up on time. That's what he's supposed to did, and everybody knows that. Get up on the 10 count. Get yourself together. You know what I mean? Like, that was disappointing to me. But anyway, with Filip Hrgovic, you know, him saying that, hey, I'm not impressed with him, I love it. I love that idea. So that means that Filip would go in there with an attitude, with a whole mindset of going in there and taking it to Usyk. You know, I love people that puts their money where their mouth is. Let their mouth write a check that their ass can't cash. There you go. You know, maybe or maybe not, because let's see if his mouth can cash the check for his ass. Because if it can't, his ass is in trouble. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Filip Hrgovic stating that Alexander Usyk is not so special. I can't wait to bust him up. I can throw more punches than Danny Dubois. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!